Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see here on our channel, our social media, or our website. Reach out to me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing a 2017 model year USA Market Limited Series, though not limited edition, Tag Heuer Monaco Calibre 11 Gulf Edition. Again, built just for the US market and only for the 2017 model year. Production was constrained by the fact that it was a limited market and limited time span offering. So 39 millimeters in stainless steel. The watch measures 14.5 millimeters thick from lug to lug, 47.3 millimeters, 22 millimeters the spacing between the lugs, and the timepiece is a handsome and evocative tribute to the original Monaco of 1969, but also the Gulf racing liveries frequently seen at the racetracks alongside the watch. Now, throwing it on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, you can see compared to the previous 38 millimeter Monacos, the watch does wear large. Though a 39 on paper, it has almost nothing in common with the ergonomics of a 39 millimeter round watch, and I'd advise you consider it more like a 42 on the wrist, because it really does have that stance, that size, that thick profile, and the substance of a much bigger watch. Taking a quick look at the hardware and the software, let's get close to the strap here. You can see it is a blue-gray, almost slate-colored leather with a contrasting orange stitch, and I'm not sure if you can see, but internally there's a bit of a contrasting orange within the strap. It is bolstered to give it some thickness. You can see there is a shear edge showing the layers of construction, and then on the underside you actually have a rubber inlay. So you have rubber on the underside to help isolate the leather from the moisture, sweat, heat, and grit of the wrist, and you can see the perforations go straight through, so they do work to vent the wrist. You'll also note that there are no perforations for a pin buckle because it uses a minderless clasp system that tucks excess length in through the clasp but then goes underneath the clasp body, so when closed there's no need for minder loops and all excess length is tucked underneath the strap. This is great because not only does it look clean, but it prevents the gouging of the strap that often limits strap life in service. A few things to note about this watch. One, it is not at face value the Tag Heuer Monaco, it is the Heuer Monaco. You can see on the dial, on the crown, the strap, the buckle itself, and the case back, including the rotor, it is the Heuer Monaco, realizing that there might be more currency in the original family name than in the circa 1986 conglomeration of the Tag and the Heuer. So this is a watch that also features twin trigger release for the clasp, so it cannot pop open accidentally. You must depress both triggers to open. The case band is strong and remarkably nuanced, as it has hard geometries, vertical lines, diagonal lines, horizontal lines. You can see that there's vertical satin finish on the lug profile, but the mid case features longitudinal satin. There's polish on the bezel, such as it is, and the lug hoods. You'll note that the bezel structure on this watch is not actually separate from the case. Now, inboard you can see that the bezel abutting the crystal is, but the bevel, the lugs, and the case band are all in one piece, and you can see that the sapphire here, and it is sapphire, is dramatically boxed and thick to create the look of the original plexiglass. And as we roll around, you can see once again that Heuer branded crown. There's a little bit of a wasp-waisted recess on the underside that's polished to trim the visual mass of the watch. You can also see the alternately polished and satinated and beveled faceted triggers for the chronograph. The watch, of course, is based on a Sellita SW300 base, but it has been modified to create the lefty crown evocative of the original chronomatic caliber developed along with Breitling, Hamilton, and Buren from 1969. The dial, of course, features many elements of the original Monaco, including the form of the indices, the rounded square registers, and of course the horizontal layout of the indices themselves. You can see that better from this angle, but it is the Gulf livery that sets this edition apart. Now, the Gulf livery, probably most famous for being sported on a variety of Porsche, including the 917, and prior to that, the Le Mans winning Ford GT40s, but more recently I've loved the Aston Martins, and back in the early 2000s, the Arena Motorsports run Stefan Johansson raced Audi R8 that raced in the Gulf livery, and that's the modern heritage of the Gulf racing livery. Of course, it's associated with Gulf Oil, which is a natural extension of the motorsports brand. Now, the watch includes a fully loomed dial that we'll see in a moment, and a movement that, as I mentioned, is based on a Sellita SW300 with a Dubois de Praz vertical clutch chronograph module. It has bidirectional automatic winding, a quick set date, hacking seconds. The 42-hour power reserve beats away at 28,800 vibrations per hour, and if you look, you can see that this is a top grade of the SW300. That's second from the top, which would be chronometer, and the movement, which in combination with the module has 59 joules, features a splayed spoke balance and a higher grade hairspring that it has in common with the chronometer grade of this caliber, all of it water resistant down to 100 meters. An evocative watch, a fairly rare modern Monaco, and a full service sports watch that can go swimming on a different strap. This is a timepiece for summer 2020. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And we're back with the Heuer Monaco Gulf Racing Edition for the US market, fully loomed by night.